And good evening to you all, once again. Welcome to the Shadow Gallery. I am, as always, your host, James Donnelly. And guess what time it is? It's time for new comics, bitches! I'm going to try and keep this one brief. So let's get right on to it. Hope you all had a good Thanksgiving, by the way. Okay, Kick-Ass 2. Number 4? 5? I didn't make notes. Anyway, the latest issue of Kick-Ass. It has less rape, and it has less shooting children in the head. So that's good. Step in the right direction. As I said in the last time that we talked about Kick-Ass, I thought that the last one was just way over the top with the violence. I felt that it had crossed the line, but I appreciated where it was coming from. That ultimately, what the motherfucker is trying to do is he's essentially what I think is interesting about this character is that he's playing by comic book rules in a real-world scenario, just like all of them are playing dress-up superhero. And so, with this issue, we're confronted with something, again, quite sad for Dave, is that he loses his father. His father is killed while they're in prison. So, while he's in prison for being, basically saying that he was Kick-Ass. That was a little affecting. I felt bad for Dave. But ultimately, it's where this issue really takes us is to the reintroduction of Hit Girl back into the fray, as it were. So it's not somebody shooting children in the head, it's a child shooting other people through the head, and quite impressively. So again, now that Hit Girl's back into it, I feel like, okay, this is really coming together. I believe it was issue 5. Anyway, so it feels more like it's trying to feel more like a comic book than it really should, but it's still good. I feel that it should be grounded pretty well in reality, and just some of the stuff is just way too extreme for reality. But it's still good and gets, I would say, 3.5 out of 5. Another one here, we have Ultimate Comics Hawkeye, number 4. Again, Jonathan Hickman expanding on his universe that he is kind of reintroducing us to with the Ultimate Comics series. This was a really interesting and very high concept miniseries on the whole. This final issue was a little bit sketchy. I didn't really get everything out of it that I felt that I should have. But again, it's still good work because, Hickman doesn't write bad comics. So it was just, I liked the concept of what they did with, basically how this universe actually has its own ultimate Zorn. And I'm surprised I didn't really put those things together in the last issue when they show the face of one of the Eternals, and these are basically the Ultimate Eternals. And basically, the twin cities of Tian are, basically what would be a haven for, kind of like a modern day Genosha. I like how they portray the, what I really got out of it the most was I like what they were doing with Hawkeye. Overall, is that, he's a guy that they can depend on to get the job done. I'm a little, I don't know, did he always have brown hair? Because I know that, I think that in Loeb's run and Joe Mad's run on the Ultimates, that he had blonde hair. So I mean, it's just, again, it's just a thing. I mean, I'm not complaining about it. It's a thing. So that's, again, that's about a 3.5 out of 5. I mean, it's, it's good work, it's solid work. I mean, I can count on Hickman to do well, and Rafa Sandoval does a really, really nice job with the art, and has done so throughout the entire series. So, certainly no reason to put it down. This was a really interesting issue, and that is The Flash, number 3. Again, we have the Flash, still kind of getting used to being this, that he's using super speed not just with his body, but with his brain. So, I mean, conceptually, that's something that's really, really cool. We have kind of the reintroduction of the rogues here, and we have one of the coolest things I've ever seen the Flash do, which is, basically, he, saves a plane that's crashing by basically vibrating its entire molecules through a bridge and into the water. But we got we've got Barry taking on quote unquote mob rule, his friend, and he's feeling that everything is going to be all right, and then all of a sudden it's not. So we've got the kind of shock at the end of this issue is like, whoa, I really didn't see that one coming. There's a few of those this week, and I'll talk more about them. But again, a really good issue. I mean, Francis Manapul, Brian Buccellato, they co-write it, and of course Manapul does the art. The art, God, is just gorgeous in Flash. I mean, it really is. It's absolutely stunning. And the story is really good. I mean, so this is a 4 out of 5, easy. It makes for really, really good comic reading. On to another good point of the New 52, and that's Aquaman, number 3. Again, this is by far Jeff Johns' strongest work in the entirety of the New 52, and just these creatures, these sea creatures from the bottom of the sea, the trench. I mean, they're pretty fucking scary, man. I mean, these creatures are scary, and this is just I mean, it's a really well structured comic. It has some. It has, it introduces, at least to me, this new character, this biologist, Stephen Shin, who apparently once tried to kill Arthur because he wouldn't take him to Atlantis. And they do this kind of autopsy on the fish, one of the dead fishmen. And so now it's Mira and Arthur down into the trench. So, I mean, it's just, Ivan Reis doing great artwork, as per usual. Jeff Johns turning in a really, really, really solid script. I just wish that he put as much time and effort into his other comics as he is into Aquaman. So Aquaman, again, 4 out of 5. Easy. Wolverine and the X-Men, number 2. Again, this is this is one of those issues. I mean, this is as opposed to Uncanny X-Men, which is now it's taking a much more kind of serious look at these people with Mr. Sinister and the Extinction Team, but also having a more again the threats they're facing, they're much more serious about it. And Jason Aaron and Chris Picciolo They're doing a much more, not totally comedic, but it is a much more fun read. It kind of reminds me of the good old days of Keith Giffen and J.M. DeMatteis on Justice League back in the 80s. But what it really kind of showcases here is these new the new Hellfire Club and its inner circle, a bunch of children, and we've got Iceman, who does something that is I've never seen him do before. I don't think anybody's seen him do before, and it's really, really cool. It's just terribly impressive, and the artwork by Bachalo is just terrific. And it's such a really, really, really strong comic, and then bringing back these threats like Wendigo and Sauron, and basically these kind of clones of these two, and then of course reintroducing Krakoa, basically the threat that was so big that they needed more members to the X-Men team, and thus we got Giant Size X-Men #1, which of course gave us Wolverine and Thunderbird and Storm and so on and so forth. And then we've got Quentin Quire at the end, who's doesn't really seem to care, and he's such a great character, and I think it's someone that Jason Aaron will have a lot of fun with. Again, this is a 4 out of 5. It's really, really well done, really smart. I mean, it's way above average. So I mean, it's really a good entertainment, a good piece of entertainment to read. It's really good comics. So we also had Invincible, number 85. This week, and boy was the ante just really ramped up on that. This was a damn good comic. This is like, okay, this is Invincible the way I like to read Invincible. I mean, there's a lot of sex going on in this issue, and we get Dad's back in this issue, and of course Oliver's back, and but we've got Alan the Alien, who's now the high commander of all of these space cops, these kind of pseudo Green Lanterns, if you will. They're not really Green Lanterns, of course, and they're not even anything like Green Lanterns, other than the fact that they're intergalactic. They're an intergalactic peacekeeping group that the Omni-Man is now a proud member of. But Alan's really, really worried about a decision that he has to make, and it's a decision about the Viltrumites, that they are on Earth, that they can't be trusted, despite the fact that there are people like Mark Grayson on the planet. And basically, Alan's only recourse, what he believes is for the good of the universe, is to basically release the virus that he knows will kill Viltrumites. But the virus is so, because humans are so close genetically to Viltrumites, that it will kill all of them as well. So basically he's planning on releasing that on Earth. And only Omni-Man can stop him. So, now we have a battle coming up between two admittedly very cool characters now. I mean, we didn't like Omni-Man for a while, but but we like him now. He's cool. So after the Viltrumite War and everything like that. But again, really solid read. 4.5 out of 5. Kirkman's great. Ryan Ottley's artwork, again, always great. Anyway, so we're going to be back, and we're going to talk about the rest of the stuff this week. Okay, so stick around.